Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Just 2 minutes, we'll start.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So, any doubt in yesterday's class in our S3 class? Gajanan, Mumtaz. We did yesterday. We have completed S3. कुछ doubt है, Mumtaz?
नहीं सर,
Okay.
मैंने तुमको आईएमए क्रिएट कैसा वो करते बोल के पूछी थी, आप नहीं बोले कल। भूल गए शायद।
कौन सा वाला?
आईएमए आईडी सर।
अच्छा, IAM का, हाँ
मैंने कर लिया सर, क्रिएट किया।
हो गया क्या?
हाँ, हो गया सर।
All right. Yes, because you are not there last two classes.
Yes, sorry I skipped the 2 days. I got sick.
हाँ.
It's 12 a.m. here, so I got overwhelmed during the day.
You
So
joined from which city?
Texas,
All
USA.
right. All right.
So it's 12 a.m. here,
Mm-hmm.
and I need a wake
Okay.
up at 6 for my other job.
Yeah.
But I was watching your videos. From yesterday's videos are remaining,
Mm-hmm.
so I will complete it today, possibly.
Yeah. Okay. Just go through those videos. If any doubt, let me know.
Sure.
That's one of
Yeah,
important. S3 is most used, widely used, right? So that's the thing.
correct. Yeah, I haven't gone through this yet. I will go through once
Okay.
again.
All right. Mm. Okay. So in today's class, as I told you yesterday, we're gonna touch the serverless model. Okay. So we're gonna talk about serverless. We'll understand what is serverless, why do we have to go for serverless, and what are the pros and cons of serverless, right? What are the services we can use in serverless, right? We'll talk completely about serverless model. Let me share those slides. Okay, so AWS managed service and serverless architecture, right? Is this recording? Yeah. Okay. So do you guys know about this IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, infrastructure as a service?
Yes. Yeah, I have a little bit of knowledge.
Okay.
Platform as a service or
Yeah,
something. There's four term that use in cloud.
correct, right? So infrastructure as a services. So we use only infrastructure, right, from cloud provider. It is also called it as a lift and shift method. Okay, the best example for infrastructure as a service, we can say deploying your EC2. Okay, so if you deploy your EC2, right? So what all will follow? We have to give each and small information as well, right? You will be giving your EC2 is a launching type. You'll be maintaining the networking type. You'll be maintaining the key pairs. Everything you will take care. So those kind of service we call it as infrastructure as a service. Okay, so. Mm,
In that service, you just need to migrate your services to cloud. That's what it says. Your service, your on-prem data to the EC2 instance.
no. Example using EC2 to deploy your application that works as an infrastructure as a service, right? Because we here in EC2 you are responsible for everything. Your code,
Okay.
runtime, configuring load balancing, auto scaling, updating the patches, right? The
Okay.
networking.
So
So
creating
AWS
in
will
EC2.
so AWS will take care only this virtualization, right? Networking, hardware, only those things AWS will take care in EC2. Rest all will be in your hand completely.
Got it.
So that we call it as infrastructure, right? In the other way, in the other hand, what is platform as a service, right? So in here, if you see the difference here, this orange color is the responsibility of AWS. Okay. Here, if you see, AWS taking care only virtualization, hardware and networking part. But when it comes to the platform as a service, everything will be taken care by the AWS, right? You only have to take your application, only the code, how your application should run. Only you will take care of your coding, right? You are responsible for application code and small configurations. Rest all, how your application should run, and availability, scalability, OS, virtualization, networking, rest all AWS will take care, right? So there's a difference here, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service. So if I tell you in a very simple way, platform as a service, how it works means, so let's get back to our hotel example only. So in the hotel, so if there's a hotel here, what is the work of chef, right? What is the work, right? He only has to use his recipes, right? He only has to use his recipes and cook uh dishes, right? He only has to use his recipes and cook dishes. Rest all whatever he wants, whether he wants vegetables, right? Whether he want cooking appliances, whether he want fan, right? Whatever you want, everything that hotel owner will provide for him, right? Whatever he wants to cook, everything hotel owner provides him. His work is only to cook, to use his own recipe and cook. Your platform as a service is a similar way, guys, same way. Okay, so everything AWS will provide for you. Only here you need to maintain your application code. Okay, how your code runs, how user should only you have to maintain code. Rest all you can be you don't have to worry about it in the background. Is it clear? I'll show you some services,
Yeah,
then why
it's
is that?
clear. So lift and shift model only applies for platform as well,
Infras
or infrastructure
infrastructure.
as well?
Yeah. So in the lift and shift model, right, from on-prem, you will be completely moving into the cloud. Everything you will be slowly you will be shifting to cloud. So there you
Okay,
have
that's
to
what
give
I'm saying. Yeah.
yeah. So there you will call it as infrastructure as well. Okay. So apart from PaaS, we also have SaaS and FaaS. Okay. So SaaS is nothing but containers instead of applications. Okay, same service. Instead of applications, AWS we have to take care of containers. That's it. And then FaaS is a serverless function. Okay, we use functions instead of applications. That's it. Okay, so IaaS, PaaS, CAS, FaaS is clear. And what is the one more thing? SaaS. You guys know about this, I guess.
Software as a service.
Best example for this? Soft.
Like Microsoft 360.
Best example for this is your Gmail.
Gmail. Okay.
So in Gmail, what do? We only maintain our users. That's it. Do you do any other configurations? Any, if your organization does any other configurations? No, right? Everything will be taken care by Google, right? We only take care of users logins and logout. That's it. So software as a
Microsoft. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's
Microsoft Office is the same
yeah,
as
yeah,
software, right?
yeah. Something which you don't have any much configuration.
Correct. Okay.
Only you'll take care of your users. Okay, those things and comes under SaaS. The best example is Gmail, your Office, right? Outlook,
Yeah.
all those things you can see, right? So this is clear, I believe. IaaS, PaaS, SaaS.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we'll talk about uh, the services which we use for the serverless. Let me clear this. Okay. So first we need to understand what is AWS managed service. So what do you mean by managed? The best example for managed services, your load balancing, right? It distribute incoming traffic across multiple targets. We don't do any configurations. If a request increases to million requests, 10,000 million, you don't have to do anything. Yeah, load balancer will automatically handle it, right? So that is one of the managed service. Same way we have containers application, right? And we have RDS. These all comes under managed service. Today we're going to talk about something called elastic beanstalk. Right, this is one of the serverless model, and also it is one of the AWS managed service. So it's the best example for PaaS, platform as a service. Now we'll talk about Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, so when do we use Elastic Beanstalk and what is it? Right. So Elastic Beanstalk is a simplest way to deploy and scale your web application. Okay, so this we use if your web application is very simple, not complicated. I mean, not the microservices. You guys know what is microservices, right? Microservice architecture,
Yeah.
right?
Monolithic and microservice.
Exactly. Yeah. I think I've explained it initially, right? So monolithic and so Elastic Beanstalk, we use it for the simple web application. Okay, not microservice, simple. Okay, very simple design. Okay. So if you have very simple minimal thing, then you can use Elastic Beanstalk, but you cannot use it for microservice. For microservice, what do we use? We use containers. We use containers. That's why DevOps is in huge demand, right? So they use containers. For microservice, they'll use containers, and in each containers, they'll put their small thing,
Okay. 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 Yeah.
right? So that their application will never go down, right?
So
So this
each
is micro.
service
Each
in
service
the
they'll create
containers.
one container, right? They'll
Okay.
put
Okay.
it there. Each content will have their own framework and all, right? That
Cool.
comes under DevOps. You don't have to worry, but this is how it works. Elastic Beanstalk is like simple. Okay. In that case, you can go for Elastic Beanstalk. Okay. Now we'll understand more about it. Okay. So using Elastic Beanstalk, what you will do is main features of Elastic, it is automatically load balancing, right? It is auto scaling, and it is a managed platform updates, and it also give you a health monitoring of your application, right? All those things you can do it in the single place. Okay, right? So let me show you demo how to create it. So here it's same simple. Best I have told you right now, the hotel and chef, same example. Now only thing is we'll give our code here. Rest all AWS will take it. Okay, we'll see that now. Anyhow, I'll give it for the launch, but it takes 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so Elastic Beanstalk, just create application. Okay, so here while launching, it will ask you web server environment and Worker environment. Okay, so this is very easy to understand. Like if you want to run a website or web application that serves HTTP, okay, only for that. Okay, and then Worker environment is for other things. Like here, if you see environment area for batch applications only, we go for Worker tier. Now, where is this? Okay, if you have some batches, okay, if you have some batches, right, batch works, batch workloads, only in that, if you there will be schedule, only in that you'll go for Worker environment. Rest all the time we'll keep it as web server environment. Right, let's give your application name demo e, ELB, right, or let it give it as the environment name a dev environment. Right, so here it is asking to choose a platform. Okay, so platform means which programming language you want to use. So here it provides .NET, Docker, right? Go, Java, Node.js, Ruby. So here we can select Python. Just select Python. If you want to select higher version also, you can select, right? Here you have. Okay, so if you have your own code, so it usually in real time, developers will be having their own code, right? They'll upload it. Okay, they'll either upload it from local file or they'll upload it from. Right now we don't have code, just give sample application. Excuse me. Okay. Then if you want to give any instances, you can give. I think we need to create a VPC for it. And here you need to give a roles. Okay. That means Elastic Beanstalk should have that permissions. Just, yeah, if you don't have it, if you just create and it's going to create a new role. Okay. If you see the permission details, can you see this? Now Elastic Beanstalk, can describe instance health. It can describe load balancer. It can describe target health, right? All those permissions you're giving for your Elastic Beanstalk. If you see this, okay. So in real time, they'll in real time what they'll do, they'll use the same policies, but in the resource they'll give the restrictions with ARN templates. Okay, you don't worry about it, but this is what the permission it is giving. All right, skip to review. See, here you have option of editing as well. If you want, if you have your own database, if you have your own SDNS, own VPCs, right, you can give your custom based. Right now, only for the demo purpose, I have not selected anything. Right, you can customize anything you want. Only one-time customization. Okay, please observe now how this Elastic Beanstalk works. See, now I have given my template, I have given my requirement. Now Elastic Beanstalk will use his recipe and he will create. Okay, he will create web application and he'll give it to me. So Elastic Beanstalk, he's acting as a chef. Once he received instruction from owner, that is us, we have given instruction to this Elastic Beanstalk. Now he's creating one by one. If you see here, so it is created S3 storage bucket, right? Are you guys seeing this?
Yes, yes. S3 bucket, S3 storage
Yes,
bucket.
yeah. So one by one, slowly it will create. So right now I've not given much configurations. If you give more configurations, it will create that as well. Can you see this? We did not go and manually create. Yesterday we went manually and created S3 bucket.
Yes, yes.
Now it is created automatically,
Automatically.
right? So still, if you wait, you can see one by one, it will launch. Okay. So here at the single dashboard, you can see health of your web application. Okay, how many requests you're getting, how much response is going, all those things you can monitor. Okay, you can check logs. If any error happens, you can check logs, you can monitor, you can create alarms, like alarms in the sense if as soon as this, let's say if this request, right, if this request increasing more than 1 million, you can create an alarm to send it to users or send it to you, right? So developers, they most probably they use this more. Okay, but as a cloud engineer, as a AWS cloud engineer, so you should be knowing this. Now if you know elastic beanstalk, if any error happens, you can go and fix this, right? That's the reason you are learning this, right? This is most useful tool for developers.
Only for developer, not for
Yeah,
us.
us means, yeah, you as a cloud engineer you should learn everything,
We
but
should
in real
know, but I think
but in real time, developers like dev people, they'll use this more. They need to run simple web application. They need to test it, right? In that time, they will do this. They'll make use of this. All right. Is this clear, guys?
clear, clear. It's creating, na? It's
Hmm.
event, you will go event. It's creating.
Okay. So just as I gave you this example, same way it is doing Elastic Beanstalk. So in the hotel, right? Once the owner give the instruction to chef to prepare some dish, let's say if you give to prepare some biryani or something, right? So he will use this recipe and he will prepare it, right? If it's a chicken, whatever the instruction. Same way, Elastic Beanstalk, if you tell him to create web application using Python code, right? And if you give your code, then using that code, okay, using that configurations, it will create VPC, load balancer, S3 storage bucket, whatever required for the infrastructure, right? That's it. Okay, so if it will create, and it is simply you don't have to manage it. But in previously on all these days, what we used to do, we used to create
We are
load
managing.
balancer, yeah, launch template. We were managing. That's why it is called as AWS managed service. All right. Okay. Right. Let's stop this, or else this will go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Okay, so let's get into slides. So here, please remember these are the important points as for the interview and for the exam purpose. Okay, so you retain full control over AWS resources created. Okay, so it's ideal for simple web applications. Please note, I have bolded it here. So it is used only for simple web application, not ideal for microservices. So if they ask in interview, if I want to start my microservice architecture, which service do you prefer? Right? You should never say Elastic Beanstalk. For microservices, we always use containers. All right. So any doubt here, guys? That's what about Elastic Beanstalk. Understood, right?
Yeah, good.
Right. So if you guys are creating, just please go and delete this. Why? Because even though Elastic Beanstalk is free, if it creates any resources, you will be charging for it. All right. Now, this DevOps session will talk at the end of the course. We'll talk about containers and how many of you are aware about DevOps?
We don't know, sir.
Not much information.
What is your
Maybe
designation,
development.
Vikas?
I'm just network engineer, just on
Okay.
networking side.
Okay. Nice. And Gajanan, how about you?
Yes, sir. Knock support engineering. Wipro.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. All right. So First, Elastic Beanstalk is a managed service, guys. Okay, it's a AWS managed service. So what do you mean by managed service? It's clear, right? So everything will be managed by AWS, right? Similarly, we have something called serverless. Okay, when you talk about serverless, right, we have Lambda and API Gateway. API Gateway we'll talk tomorrow. Today in this class, I'm gonna teach you about Lambda. What is Lambda? How we can use it? So same like your S3, right? Yesterday I told, right? Same like your S3, Lambda is the most used one. In every day, in every project, they'll use Lambda. Lambda is most useful for your service in AWS. Okay, it will make our work so easy, right? That's why this is important topic, Lambda. Okay, so let's start, right? So what do you mean by serverless? Any idea?
Without touching server doing automatically.
Yes. So serverless means um serverless means you don't have to worry about servers. Okay, you don't have to worry about servers means your EC2s, right? Whatever the is required, you don't have to worry about it. Lambda will take care. Okay, so what are the things we think about when we develop an application, right? So first we will see where do we deploy, what kind of OS, right? And we'll worry about how do we take care of the scaling of your application. That's very important, right? If as soon as the request comes, if request increases huge, right? Now it's a weekend, right? In the weekend, if the more request comes to your application, how do you manage that request, right? You can't be monitoring 24/7, right? How do you manage automatically, right? So if you worry about then to counter that part, they have introduced something called serverless. Okay, so remember, serverless does not mean no servers. It is a serverless for me. I mean, for AWS users. Okay, you don't worry about infrastructure. You don't worry about flexible scaling. You don't worry about high availability. Okay, everything AWS will take care. Okay, we only have to take your only main work is to focus on your code. That's it. You focus on cloud, and the cloud managed service takes care of all that is needed to scale it, to scale your code to serve million of requests. Are you able to understand what is the main difference between Lambda and Beanstalk?
Beanstalk is your
In stock, we have to manage. If we want to scale our device, we have to manage. We had not required AC, did not require powers.
Hmm.
In stock, it's all required, but in
Yes.
Lambda, it's nothing required power,
Yeah.
AC,
Yeah. So
electrician.
Lambda, if you want to worry about, if you worry about your scaling, if you want to take care of scaling and flexibility and more in availability, so you can go for Lambda serverless model. Okay. So if you want complete managed service, you can go with EBS. That's it. Main difference. Okay. No. Right. So here you will only pay for number of requests. Okay, and duration of request, and only the for memory consumed. Okay, in Lambda. Right. So now if you see, these are the Lambda event sources, means these are the services which can trigger your Lambda, your API gateway, Cognito, CloudFront, step functions, right? You will understand now. I'll show you in the demo. Okay, you will understand. Uh, Okay, let's do our Lambda demo. Guys, remember Lambda is bit in first class it's very difficult to understand Lambda. Don't worry, you be reading, and once you get into real-time projects, you will understand. But as of now, please try to understand what is Lambda, why do we use it? Okay, then you will get it. All right. So AWS Lambda, it lets you run code without thinking about servers. Okay. So your job, if you select Python, just write your code. Okay. Write your code, whatever you want. If you want to launch these things, you launch EC2, launch a load balancer, whatever you want, just type it and run it. Okay, so everything will be taken care by Lambda. So how it takes care? If you go to the if you see how Lambda responds to events, see in real time, this is how they use. If any your streaming applications like your live streaming of your cricket, football, right? So how they'll build servers and all. So they will integrate Lambda. So any live streaming happens, no, it will go through your Lambda only. So they'll integrate Lambda. So all the live streaming from Lambda, it will share it to other servers. Okay. And whatever your web phone applications, right? If you see in real time, even IoT things, they'll also use this. Okay. And if anyone put any object in S3 bucket, let's say you will upload one object to your S3 bucket, this is your S3 bucket. Even that you can monitor, even that you can respond. If you see here, even for this, Lambda will respond now. Can you see this? Lambda is responding. That means Lambda is taking care of no matter how much. See, in a day, if it comes million requests, also Lambda is taking care of it. So your servers, your application will users will never feel that servers are down, right? Because Lambda is handling scalability. Okay. So if you talk about the costing, if you see here, see until now I'm not getting cost, it is free. If you see after 1 million requests, our charging increase. Okay, costing up to 1 million, it is free. After that, each request you might need to pay. Is it clear, guys, how Lambda works? If you see, Lambda scales up
Yeah.
and down automatically to handle workloads. You don't pay anything when your code isn't running. Okay. So now if there's no any servers are coming, I mean, if no request is coming, if Lambda is simply is there, you will not pay for it since your code is not running. Now, if someone puts object to your Lambda is responding, only then it is costing for you. Okay. That's the thing. Okay. Don't worry. Just
Sir, in live environment, it's daily use in use. In
you,
our
you
organization also, if my company is ABCD,
uh,
so in ABCD company using AWS, so it's in use or rare case it will use?
yeah, definitely they'll use
Rare case
Lambda
or regularly?
regularly. They'll use in every project more 90% of the
Mostly,
project
mostly I think
because
it's mostly, sir, I think it will use in live for live environment, no?
not only live environment
Like
after going
YouTube,
live.
Gmail, and
No,
Match,
not
Wall.
only live. See here, if anyone uploads, like if any dev guy, right, and if anyone uploads the object to your bucket, right? So if it's even if it's a dev thing, they need to know it, right? What objects they have. They need to monitor this. Okay, using Lambda, they will do it automatically. They will monitor it. That I'll show you now in the demo. Not only in the live, right? In all the other projects, they'll use this.
Right, right.
Okay, I'll show you now, right? So let's do our Lambda basic demo. Once if I do demo, then it will be clear for you guys. Yeah. API gateway, you guys are aware of it, right?
Yeah.
You want me to
So
teach this? It's a basic, like it's a
your
fully
rest.
managed service, right? So it's just, all the user, whatever they do the request and all, they'll make through. Okay, anyway, I'll teach it in next class. Now, let me show you what I'm gonna do. All right. So this we need to do. Okay. So just create S3 bucket, create IAM role, and create Lambda function and add trigger. That's it. So if you do this, then if anyone puts any object to your S3 bucket, your Lambda will be responding to it. Okay, responding to if Lambda is responding means what? It is taking care of scalability. Okay, I'll show you now. Now first step is what is the first step? We need to create S3 bucket. Let's quickly go there. You guys can also do this demo. Okay, it
Sure.
won't charge you much. Just remember my steps and you can do this. S3. What is this bucket, guys? Do you remember what is this bucket?
In object is
No, this bucket is created by your Elastic Beanstalk. See the name.
Yes.
Okay, automatically it's created by Elastic Beanstalk.
mention here also. Elastic
Yeah.
stuff.
So you can access is denied. Anyway, bucket is there, no? Will that be charging for me? Now buckets is there, right? This bucket is there. Is it costing me now? Gajanan, you should answer.
Yes, it will be charged because
Why?
you are using this one, na, bucket.
No. That's what yesterday I told you, no? S3 bucket is free.
जब
Okay.
हम इसको अपलोडिंग
हाँ,
और डाउनलोडिंग करेंगे
हाँ,
तभी
Unless you upload something.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So only if you upload and if you download something from S3 bucket, you will only pay for the transfer cost. Okay, you will only pay for the transfer cost. That also I've shown you. Okay.
Yes.
Please
Yeah.
remember for this, if you simply have buckets, it won't cost you anything. We'll do create bucket. Let's keep my demo bucket 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because bucket name should be globally unique, right? Rest all I have not touched anything. What is encryption types? Gajana, what do you mean by encryption type here?
software service and Amazon also have a one secret key and अपना भी मैनेज कर सकते हैं सेल्फ मैनेज
हाँ तो आपका if you want to make your bucket objects unreadable, right, we can go with encryption. So by default, right, to make encryption we have keys, right? Right,
yes
if you're managing those keys only, it is our job. Okay, so if you want AWS to manage those keys, encryption keys, you can select SSE S3. If you want have a control over your keys, that means in AWS only, right? But if you want to have control over keys, you can use KMS. If you want to create your own key, right, if you want to create your own key, right, and upload from on-prem, then you can go for CMK. That's okay, that's thing. Please remember that it's very important. In real time, people are facing many problems. Okay, what happens now? So in real time, if you're creating, or if any application team creating S3 bucket, okay, if it's a highly restricted data, we'll ask him to use KMS, right? If they are using SEC S3, we will get alert. Security guy, we will get alert that they're using SSC S3. So we will not allow them. We'll ask them to create with SSC KMS. So many of them, they don't know what is this. Again, we need to give them knowledge and all, right? So please read this. All right, let's create bucket. Right, my demo bucket is ready. What's the next step I need to do? I need to create a IAM role for my Lambda. Okay. This is duplicate. Let's get into IAM. Okay, so now we're gonna create a role. What do you mean by roles, guys?
Temporarily access.
Right, we are giving temporary permission. Okay, if you are creating role, we are giving temporary permission to Lambda. For whom we are creating this role? We are creating this role for the Lambda. Okay,
Yeah.
So AWS, select AWS service and then click Lambda, use case Lambda next. So we have to give the policy. Okay, just type AWS Lambda execution basic. If you see this policy, what I'm doing here, can anyone explain me what is
You
this
are you are
policy?
you
You're
are
just
allowing
allowing log group,
group
log stream, and
group
log events.
stream and log event.
What is
Three
allowing?
things. Put create. They can create and they can
Who can create?
whoever we are giving access to.
For whom we are giving
I
access
think.
to?
Uh,
For whom we are creating this role? Just now you guys saw it, right?
S3
No, no, no. Just now in the first place you guys saw it, right? For whom I'm creating this role?
oh,
Create role and
AWS
Lambda.
services. Lambda.
no,
Lambdas.
Lambda. For Lambda, I'm creating this role.
Correct. Yes.
So it is asking for whom you need to create role. AWS service, account, web identity, trust policy for whom. So I have selected service. I have selected give. I
From
am creating
services to
this
and
role.
then Lambda. Yeah.
Creating this role for Lambda. Right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So next, the AWS is asking, okay, what permission you want to give to your Lambda. So what permission is here? So now if I attach this policy to Lambda, so it is allowing for whom? Lambda. It is allowing Lambda to create a log group, to create log stream, to put log events. We are giving this permission for Lambda to send it to CloudWatch. Okay,
Yeah.
only if you give this permission only, it can, whatever your request comes, it will be sending to your CloudWatch so that you can monitor it. All right, just add this, selected this policy, click next. Okay, trigger Lambda. Just give something, create role. Right. So if you see S3 bucket is created, IAM role is created. What is the third step? Now we're going to create Lambda function. Okay. So creating Lambda means you will be creating functions. Okay. Don't say, how do you create Lambda means don't say we'll go and create Lambda. So we are creating, basically we are creating functions. Yeah. So click on create function. So right, you have three ways by creating. So one is everything you will give from scratch, or you can use a blueprint. Blueprint is nothing but predefined templates. That's it. Okay, if you see for each scenarios, they have defined already. Okay, depending upon the scenario, it will already be pre-built. Okay, if you want, you can use this template. Same like your AWS manage policy, right? AWS policy already predefined by AWS. Same like that. Depending upon your scenario, you can use a blueprint, or for containers, if you're creating for, for microservice, you need to give your container. Okay, your container image URI and all. If you know DevOps, you'll understand. Okay, right now just focus here. We're going to create Lambda from scratch. Give demo function name demo Lambda. Okay, what code I'm using? We're going to use Python, right? So here in the permissions, right? So now for Lambda, we need to attach permissions, right? Okay, use an existing role, give refresh. Here, we see trigger Lambda. Clear? That's it. I'm not doing anything. Very simple, right? So now let's go and create. Okay. So your Lambda acts as a event triggering option. So you can add trigger, right? If you add trigger means if you attach any resources to your Lambda, if anything happens in this Lambda, sorry, if anything happens in this resource, Lambda will notify to, I mean, whatever you had add here in the destination, right? Or it will notify. Okay. Or else if you want to stop that, Lambda will do that as well. Right. So now what we are doing now we are if anyone uploads anything to this S3 bucket, okay, right, Lambda should make a note of it. Okay, Lambda should make a note of it. Okay, I cannot come and see this bucket every time. Okay, so who has uploaded in this? So I cannot every time I cannot come and see. Okay, or if I go to Lambda, all the requests I can see. Okay, now let's do this add trigger. Okay, so it is asking from where, okay, from which source you want to add a trigger. So if you see, you can attach load balancer. Okay, you can attach CloudWatch logs, you can attach SQS, you can attach DynamoDB. There's endless, right? In real time, they'll use all these applications, right? If you talk about Salesforce, they'll attach Salesforce, and if any new event happens in your Salesforce account, immediately it will notify, right? They'll use like this. That's why I've told Lambda it's the most used one, and it's a bit difficult to understand in first class. Oh, the more you do lab, then only you will understand. Even I myself couldn't understand initially. Right
Okay.
now let's select S3. Okay, so S3, so it is asking which bucket. My demo bucket event types, like, so what all the event types? That means if only put events, get events, right? Or if anyone deletes, what all the things you want to notify. Now we have given all. If you want, if anyone put, I mean, if anyone upload any object only for that you want to know, you can give only for that. You
Okay.
got it, right? You can do that as well.
Yeah.
And also optional is prefix. That means you want you want to monitor only some particular folder in S3 bucket, like image folder, like video folders. That is also possible. Alright, so right now let's keep it simple. I've just given selected S3, given S3 bucket name. Add. Cool. Okay. Now this is successful. Now let's test it. How do we test it? We'll go to this S3 bucket and we'll upload one object. Okay, or we have uploaded an object. So as per the diagram, if anything, any event happens, Lambda will make a note of it, right? So it will take care of all the things. Now we'll see how it worked. Okay. Right. So go to the tab monitor. So you should be able to see in your Lambda logs. Okay, these are all the logs which it will. So why it is sending to CloudWatch logs? Can you guys tell me why?
Because we allow the on the
Exactly. We have created a
code
roles
on the
with the,
code. Yeah.
yeah, right. So we have given, we asked
Create and put
Lambda, yeah, to
to put
send it to
those things.
CloudWatch. Okay. Uh, all right. So usually it takes time a little bit. Okay, you can see in view CloudWatch logs. You guys know what is logs, right?
Yeah, the real events.
Yeah. So logs is
Or
nothing but all the events with all complete details. Okay. Now, who someone has uploaded an object in a S3 bucket. So you can see that in your Lambda logs. Okay. If you come here, this is the log stream. Okay. So here, somewhere right? Reading a logs is also, you know, so
It's like a
here,
it's like a packet capture.
exactly. So here you will see that bucket name. Okay, here somewhere in the logs you will see that. Okay, you will see the bucket name and what they have uploaded, right? You can see the details. Okay. Uh, it will take some time. So initially we had given, I think, longer time, right? That's why. So we have to give at least every 1 minute or every 1 hour. Okay, that's the reason it is not showing. Anyway,
The bucket name is there,
where?
lambda, on the first line. And 30 minutes interval, when you click it, it's on the first AWS Lambda app, the Alto one. Is this the one?
This one?
Yeah.
No, this is the
That's it.
lambdas thing.
Okay.
Okay, this is showing we have created lambda with Python this version. After this event, it is not showing. Right? We have created this only, right? We have
Great.
created AWS Lambda with Python version. So it is
Yeah.
showing that at this time we have started. Okay, that is showing. Right after that, it needs to show it's still loading. Sometimes it happens. Okay. Anyhow, okay. So this is how we use. So in real time, okay, here you will get to see the details, right? What S3 bucket, what they have uploaded, right? Everything you can see in this log events. Okay. So Lambda will be storing all the logs and it will also scale automatically. Suppose if request increases, okay. So Lambda will take care of your S3 bucket. You don't have to worry about it. That's why they'll integrate Lambda. And if you want to have a destination, so what do you mean by destination is, so if anyone puts object your S3 bucket, right? Let's say this is a prod. Okay, let's say this is the prod bucket. Okay, here nobody should delete, right? This is a live project. For example, nobody should delete object from your S3 bucket. If anyone does delete, okay, if anyone does delete, then you want to notify, you want to get the notification. For that, right, you can add a destination. Okay, so remember it's a asynchronous invocation, not a synchronous. Okay, you can add, right, on a failure or on a success. Okay, so and then you can send it to your SNS topic or SQS. You will understand what is SNS SQS in the coming class. Okay, it's just a notification service. You select SNS topic, you need to create one topic. That topic doesn't mean your Gmail ID. It just mean your Gmail ID or phone number. You will get a message, or you can create SQS queue, or you can create one more Lambda function. Okay, you can send. Okay, you can create Lambda function to stop that. Here, what you can do, no? See, I'll explain you. What they're saying is, yeah. Why is it taking time? Hmm. What I'm saying here is now this is your S3 bucket and this is your Lambda. Okay, monitoring it. Now, if anyone, okay, in there's object here, if anyone tries to delete this, okay, so if anyone tries to delete the object in S3 bucket, you have made a connection to Lambda, right? You know how to make a connection. I shown it, right? Like put events, delete events, you can configure it, right? So here you will get a event notification. As soon as if anyone tries to delete, it will come to Lambda. So here in the destination, you have option of either you can get an email of it, SNS, or you can keep it to SQS queue, right? You can create one more queue and you can make a manual, or you can create one more Lambda function here. That Lambda function, what it will happen? So if anyone trying to create this, no, you can write a code here. So that Lambda function will stop deleting. They can't delete this. It will stop it. This is how you can use it, guys, Lambda. Right, it will stop deleting if someone tries to stop your EC2 access. Okay, EC2, right? If someone tries to stop your load balancer, you can integrate with Lambda and you can send destination. In the destination, you can say Lambda, you can write some Python code, right? And then you can stop, so that it will protect you from accidental deletion, right? They can't delete it. That's how they'll use it. Is it clear how Lambda works, guys?
Yeah.
Very,
That's
very
clear.
useful, very useful. Okay, initially you won't get it. Be reading the slides and be reading, just watch any YouTube videos or my videos, right? Try to do the demo. Then only you guys will understand. Okay,
Sure.
so only 4 things you can do here: SNS, SQS, Lambda function, and event bridge. You can send to some event bridge. Okay, these things I'll in the coming classes you will understand what is SNS, SQS, and all. Don't worry. Any doubt in Lambda?
No, we're good.
Okay, practice it. Okay,
Yeah,
follow
please
these
practice.
steps. Yeah, please practice. If you don't get it, let me know in the next class. It removes the function code. All right. Okay, then guys, we'll see you tomorrow then.
Sure. Yeah, that's
We'll talk about
overwhelming now.
something. You guys can't sit more than 1 hour. Depends on the topics as well. All right. Okay, tomorrow we're gonna touch a new topic again. Okay.
Sure. Thank
All
you,
right.
Anas.
Bye. Yeah. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.